Tonight, a report on who was offered the Moses Lake City manager job, and Samaritan Healthcare has a new CEO. What's happening in sports, Bob?
It was a big weekend for Basin football with the regular season winding down and teams jockeying for playoff seeding. Let's take a quick peek at our Weather Center forecast.
I'm meteorologist Mike Sines. We are having high pressure build back in, and then we have a cold front that's on the way in. Will it bring us chances to see showers and storms? I'll let you know coming up in weather.
I'm Amber Jenks, and we have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Battleground City Manager is receiving a new job offer. The Moses Lake City Council voted to offer the city manager position to John Williams. The vote followed a roughly hour-long executive session by the City Council to discuss the qualifications of the candidates. Williams has been a finalist in 2 city manager job searches in the past 2 years, one in Pasco in 2014 and one in Longview in 2015. He served as the city manager for Battleground since 2009 and worked as a deputy city manager for 2 years before taking the job. He worked as the Human Resources Director for Puyallup and the Senior Human Resources Analyst for Richland. The council did not discuss why they decided on Williams. Without a construction bond for a new high school, the Moses Lake School District is moving forward with Plan B to address the overcrowding. Reporter Devin Higgins has the details.
The Moses Lake School District Board of Directors is moving ahead with their planning for a possible year-round multi-track schedule to deal with overcrowding at the high school and a lack of new facilities. The schedule would split the 2,300 student population into 4 separate tracks which ran at different times to relieve overcrowding. Superintendent Michelle Price talked to the board about what she needed to keep the process moving forward.
For those committees to really get into scheduling and the details of the application of the schedule is to have a decision as to which schedule we are going to use. And they recommended to you that we go on the 45-day of instruction with 15 days of intermission. Again, the schedule is about having 25% of our students and our staff out of the buildings at any given time to maximize the use of our facilities. And so we would like to see you take action sooner than later on that 45-15 schedule, unless you'd rather us relook at that.
Newest board member Eric Stones voiced his concerns about the schedule, saying he has questions about the long-term ramifications of what it could mean for the district. Board President Connie Pikens and other members said the switch to the new schedule is still Plan B if the next construction bond is again rejected by voters in 2017, as the district will have to implement it to deal with continued overcrowding. In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
Teresa Sullivan was named Samaritan Healthcare's new president and CEO. The hospital district's board approved a resolution to appoint Sullivan on Thursday night following an executive session. Sullivan replaces Tom Thompson. He resigned in September 12th after accepting a job as CEO with Alena Health in Hastings, Minnesota. Sullivan was serving as interim CEO since Thompson's resignation. Her base salary was set at $217,000. She began working as Samaritan's Chief Operations Officer in October of 2014 and previously served as CEO for a medical center in Minnesota from 2003 to 2012. Ephrata is looking for money to help replace the more than 60-year-old water pipe on Basin Street. The Public Works Director, Bill Sangster, reported the Department of Health approved a loan to design a replacement for the pipe. City officials estimate the project is going to cost $3.2 million and involves replacing steel and concrete water pipes that were installed in 1951 and 1956. The 2-block section of pipe installed in the 1980s is not included in the project. The city has experienced several breaks in the pipe during the past 2 years, including one at the intersection of Basin Street and Division Avenue during the summer. The city has applied for grants and loans from 2 federal, 5 state, and county programs. Now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grand County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.
My name is Kat Sanderson, Managing Broker for Pillar Rock Realty Group. We love the Columbia Basin because it's our home, and we want to give back to our community by kicking off our Pay It Forward campaign. If you buy or list with us, we will donate 1% of our total proceeds to a local charity of your choice and in your name. Call us today at 754-4444 or visit pillarrockrealty.com because we are your local real estate experts.
This weather segment's brought to you by Barry Motors, one great place to buy and service a car. I'm meteorologist Mike Sines with a look at your weather headlines. We are going to have high pressure systems going to build back in here. That's going to also bring with it, just behind it, a cold front, and that's why the chances to see showers are going to be on the rise. I'll let you know exactly when we can expect rain in our 7-day outlook. Here's a look at our almanac for us here in Ephrata. We reached a low of 45 degrees. The record low was set back in 2011 of 23 degrees, nothing in the way of precip, and the sun set for us at 5:51 p.m. Taking a look at the almanac for them in Moses Lake, they reached a low of 46 degrees, the record low. Set back for them in 2002, nothing in the way of precip, and the sun set for them at 5:51. The record high was set back in 1992 of 68 degrees. Right now outside your door, we are at 58 degrees. We're seeing partly cloudy skies, and some areas are even seeing just a few light showers. Here's a look at our Futurecast model, showing those showers are going to be tapering off throughout the evening time frame, and then we are going to see high pressure dominate our region just for a few days. And then right behind it, we can already see the edge of this cold front that's going to be arriving. It's coming off the coast, so you have humidity now coming in off of the coast, and the chances for showers are going to be on the rise. Here's a look at your forecast for tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies in sections of Port Angeles, 57 degrees. Yakima, 63. Tri-City, 62 with cloudy skies. Seattle, 62. And some fog to be expected in Olympia with 62 degrees. Our inland northwest reporting temperatures in the mid-50s for tomorrow around 1 o'clock. For us here in Ephrata, 61 degrees right around 1. Moses Lake, 62. Sunny. The conditions are going to be great throughout the day tomorrow. Broken clouds, a few spotty clouds, mostly sunny throughout the majority of the region. Temperatures ranging anywhere from the upper 50s to lower 60s. Here's a look at your extended outlook. Calling for chances of rain to return Wednesday. We are going to have a cold front that will move through the region and giving us a 30% chance to see some showers. They're going to be isolated. Just have your umbrella ready, folks. Then we're going to go into a partly cloudy skies, and then by the time we reach Saturday, 60% chance of showers are to be expected. We are going to see cloud cover return, so have your umbrella when it comes to as you make your way into Saturday, and temperatures are going to remain relatively steady. That was weather. Stay tuned. Sports is coming up next.
Paying your Grant PUD bill with ePay is like getting free cuts in line. You pay when you want, how you want. Get free cuts in line with Grant PUD ePay. Visit grantpud.org.
Oh, dude, I'm just in the theater. It's totally cool.
Ah.
The new flamethrower cheeseburger now with a $5 lunch. I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Gary, do you remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
Comes with a Sunday now. I can handle it.
You know your body, Gary.
Go Flamethrower. Now the DQ $5 lunch comes with the new jalapeno bacon flamethrower cheeseburger, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. This is fan food, not fast food.
Arch rivals Moses Lake and Wenatchee went at it on the gridiron in Big 9 action at Lions Field. The outcome, if you haven't already heard, may surprise you. Here's Sean Wells with the story.
Moses Lake hosted Wenatchee in Big 9 conference play, and this one was all Chiefs. Moses Lake jumped out early and often, cruising to a 41-12 victory over the Panthers. Messiah De Leon opened the scoring for the Chiefs with a pick six off a Chandler Fluid tip pass.
Tries to drop it off. That's tipped. That's intercepted. Taken for a touchdown. Chiefs.
Hey, what a heck of a way to start the ball game for De Leon there.
Draven Navarez then put the Chiefs up 14-0 with a 4-yard touchdown run. Moses Lake would score 3 touchdowns in the final 5 minutes of the first half to take a 41-0 lead into the break. Quarterback Wes Harrington rushed for 2 touchdowns and threw for 2 more, all in the first half.
Takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself and dives in. Touchdown, Chiefs.
Tanner Mooney finally got the Panthers on the board in the third quarter, intercepting a Joel Torres pass for the touchdown. Wenatchee would find the end zone one more time on a flea flicker to the big tight end Christian Brandt Sims for an 80-yard score.
Flea flicker, fires downfield, finds their tight end Christian Brandt Sims. He's going to take this one to the house. Touchdown, Panthers.
With the win, the Chiefs stay undefeated in conference play and tied for first with Davis. Draven Navarez finished with 50 yards rushing and a touchdown. Brandon Griffith finished with 3 catches for 60 yards and 2 scores for Moses Lake. The Chiefs hit the road this Friday for a big showdown with Davis. For iFIBER 1 News, Sean Wells.
Ball might be loose. It is.
Ephrata's postseason hopes were dashed in a 69-0 loss on the gridiron at Prosser. The Tigers dug themselves an early hole, down 22-0 at the end of the first quarter. Ephrata was out of it at the half, trailing 48-0. The Tigers were without leading rusher and scorer Tyler Lutz, who was nursing a high ankle sprain. Ephrata managed just 35 yards on the ground without him in the lineup and were held to 59 total yards for the contest. Up next at home is the #2 ranked and undefeated Ellensburg Bulldogs. Caden Murphy threw for 121 yards and 2 scores, and Quincy got past Othello 15-14. Tanner Wallace and Travis Harris were on the receiving end of Murphy TD passes. Ulysses Ramirez led the Jacks' ground attack with 111 yards on 19 carries. The Huskies scored twice in the second quarter. Quincy hit pay dirt once, and Othello led 14-7 at the break. The Jacks put the only points on the board in the second half, and Quincy walked off J.C. Field with the win. The Jacks pick up their second CWAC League victory of the season. Quincy hosts the winless Wapato Wolves Friday. Dallas Isaac packed the pigskin 9 times for 132 yards and 4 scores and threw for 2 more, and Almira Cooley Heartline crushed Waterville 70-14. This one was all Warriors from the opening whistle as ACH hung 30 first quarter points on the board. The Warriors led 54-6 at the half. Isaac also had a 65-yard pick 6 in the ballgame. It's the 7th win in a row for the Warriors after dropping their season opener to Liberty Christian. ACH moves to 7-1 on the season and hits the road to match up with 7-1 Odessa Harrington for the Northeast 1B division title. The #1 Royal Knights lived up to their lofty ranking with a 70-7 thrashing of Columbia Burbank. Royal led 28-0 after the first quarter was in the books. The Knights added 35 in the second to go up 63-0 at intermission. Royal took its foot off the accelerator in the second half and cruised to the lopsided win. The victory moves the Knights to 8-0 in the 1A SCAC East standings. Royal closes out the regular season with a non-league contest at home against Cascade. We'll be back after this commercial break.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
The Dodge brothers' competitive spirit and engineering prowess started long before they built their first car, and will continue long after their latest, the most technologically advanced vehicle in its class.
Our spotlight story tonight is about a Quincy area company using yard and food waste from Seattle to improve soil for farmers. Reporter Kevin Probert has the story.
A Quincy composting facility continues to wait for approval from the Washington State Department of Agriculture before it can start operating again. The department is trying to determine the best way to move food waste from the apple maggot quarantine area in Seattle to be processed at the Quincy facility. Grant County does not have problems with the pest. As the state determines the best plan, the facility is currently processing the compost from materials it already received. Ryan Leong, a general manager with Pacific Clean, said the facility can receive between 5 and 7 truckloads of green waste from Seattle. The green waste contains organic materials, such as yard clippings and food waste. The company received the contract with Seattle after the city passed an ordinance requiring people to separate their green waste from their trash. When the trucks arrive at the facility, employees remove items such as plastics, metals, and glass. After the items are removed, they grind the remaining waste and combine it with agricultural waste, such as manure. The compost is then moved into rows further on the property.
That once it's in a windrow, it goes through the pathogen reduction process, which is PFRP, and that takes 15 days to go through that, which gets it up to temperature 5 times. And by temperature, we mean temperatures in excess of 131 degrees, and that's intended to kill pathogens, pests, and other things in the material, so that as part of the composting process, we end up with a product that no longer has things that could harm crops and what have you.
The compost goes through a stability and curing phase. The whole process takes about 120 days. When the project was announced, people raised concerns about odors from the facility, but the process doesn't create any more odor than the ranch next door. Company officials said the dry conditions keep the odors from being a problem. State officials are looking at procedures to deal with the apple maggots, starting with the collection of the waste and continuing throughout the process. The procedures include compacting the material when it's loaded and when it's being processed, pesticide strips in the trailers carrying the material, and the composting process itself.
We, as composters, one of our major customers is the tree fruit industry. We make an end product that is marketed for agricultural use in and around the local Quincy area. So we are aligned in wanting to make sure that the product that we're producing and the process in which we're producing that product does not cause a problem for our neighbors and our farmers and those in the area.
Leong said the compost is important for the area because it returns carbon to the soil, which was used for growing crops. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Cameron Probert reporting.
We'll be right back after this.
Quincy Foods, LLC, a subsidiary of Norpac Foods, is seeking motivated individuals to fill the positions of general laborer for their corn harvest season. They have full-time seasonal openings, must be 18 years old and older, willing to work swing shift. Great people to work for in a challenging food processing environment. Apply at 222 Columbia Way in Quincy between 8 and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or online through WorkSource. Quincy Foods is an equal opportunity employer.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
Welcome back. An Ephrata man allegedly broke into an Ephrata car dealership garage, stole a motorhome, and drove it through a fence. Ephrata police were called after employees found someone had entered a fenced area in a garage on Basin Street. According to Ephrata police, the suspect, 33-year-old Ephrata resident Joshua Sauceda, allegedly took a 30-foot motorhome and drove it through a fence along Alder Street Southwest. Sauceda reportedly broke into at least 3 other vehicles by throwing rocks through the car windows. Police found Sauceda walking on Basin Street Southwest and arrested for burglary, theft, possession of a stolen vehicle, possession of a stolen property, and malicious mischief. Teresa Atkinson is now the Grant County Health District Administrator. Atkinson was appointed to the position permanently after acting as the interim administrator since former Administrator Jeff Ketchel left the position in July. She began her career at the State Department of Health in the Public Health Lab, working on newborn screening. Atkinson began working for the district in 2004 as a health educator for the Safe Kids Grant County program. Most recently, she was the Health Communities Program Manager. Sponsors are needed for the Moses Lake Chamber of Commerce Farm Family Brunch. The 35th annual event is set for December 5th at Michael's on the Lake restaurant. The Farm Family Brunch celebrates Grant County farmers and the importance of agriculture in the community. According to organizers, sponsors help provide a free breakfast to the area farming families. Sponsor benefits include a company logo and recognition in the Chamber's e-newsletter and in print advertising, signs displayed at the event, and the opportunity to provide promotional items in the gift bags for children. People wanting to sponsor the breakfast or for more information about the brunch can contact the Chamber at 509-765-7888. In Northwest News, you can see the hype ahead of the latest Star Wars movie on store shelves everywhere. But a thief decided to pilfer the prized and valuable stockpile of Star Wars collector in Vancouver. For CNN, Jennifer Dowling has a story.
Richard Bates came home to a rude awakening last night. Tens of thousands of dollars of these Star Wars collectibles gone from his closet shelves. Now he's hoping you can help to find them.
Yeah, there's a lot of cysts out there.
This Vancouver man says someone turned to the dark side when they stole his Star Wars memorabilia from his home.
I tried to use Star Wars as realized that we all walk that line between good and bad.
He says the thief crossed that line.
It was amazing that it was just all gone.
After taking what he says is the most extensive collection of this kind in Washington state.
So all this stuff is extremely rare.
He estimates 30,000 of the $45,000 cache of toys was taken.
Thank God they left a lot of stuff. That's a mint condition sealed Millennium Falcon with, a couple $1,000s.
Missing items documented on his phone.
And these are all mint condition, never been opened.
The timing uncanny, right before the new movie is scheduled to come out.
There's people lining up to buy stuff, so yeah, I'm sure it was a perfect time to steal my stuff and sell it.
Richard says the thief not only stole an investment,
the better part of my savings was wrapped up in these things,
but also his memories.
It sounds corny, but like when I get home, I like to go see my toys. It makes me happy. It's something that brings back to my childhood.
He so loves the movies, he's even gotten tattoos to keep the Force close.
And I just try to use it as a moral compass to do what's right. It just reminds me, do or do not, there is no try.
If Jedi mind tricks could bring the collectibles back, he'd use them. But he's counting on something else. Detective work, and the public.
If anyone can help, just bring it back. It's not really about the money for me. Like, I've had to get some of those pieces 5-6 times, and I just, want my stuff back.
If you have any idea where the missing collectibles might be or who took them, call Vancouver Police. In Vancouver, Jennifer Dowling, KOIN 6 News.
That's going to do it here for us at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.